Let's record. Okay, happy Tuesday. Happy Rockstar Rally Day. Best day of the week. Boop, boop. So obviously 2 weeks left in this catalog season. 2 weeks left to earn any level of the incentive trip. I know there are so many people who are either like, first of all, we have top 150 people in Radiant Rockstars. We have level 3, level 2, level 1. We have people on the verge of all the levels. It's like so good and so exciting. So I love it. Yeah, and I can't wait to smell the angel scent either because I want to maybe put that in my Scentsy Club. Amanda is 2,800 points away from level 3. Oh my gosh. That would be incentive trip number 2 for this girl. Go girl, I'm cheering you on. I know TJ needs a vacation. And you do too. All right. So I love you. I'm so glad you guys are here. And tonight I'm gonna talk about some hard stuff a little bit, and I hope you're ready to hear it because I don't know about you, but every once in a while I need a good swift kick in the pants. When it comes to my business or just my life or just like motivation in general, because what's the saying, like motivation, like you should do it every day, just like showering or something, you should do it every day. I don't know. Anyway, motivation is like bull crap, like the idea of being motivated or like, hey, there's a cute little kid on the screen. The idea of being motivated or like always having motivation is really, really this sort of like fake thing that exists. And I think especially in our culture now, we're sort of in this like millennial and just even general movement where we post this motivational quote to Instagram, or we see someone looking fabulous and we like repost, whatever. And we're like, hashtag this, right? Or like, oh, this girl sets me on fire. But like, it's like, you need to do it every single day. And like, it's such bullcrap. Like none of it is really real. You're not actually like hashtag this-ing anything, right? And we live this sort of like fake, not real life where we post this stuff to social media, we post this stuff to Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, and we're like, oh, this, so much this. And like the reality is it's not actually changing your behavior. It's not like helping you grow. It's not actually providing you with motivation. So I kind of want to talk a little bit tonight about like the difference between like being stuck in your business, the difference between winning in your business. So I don't know if you guys saw my video from Aha Moments last week, and my topic was how to win. And so I kind of want to continue on that topic a little bit tonight, but I want to talk about the difference between like being stuck and then winners. People who are stuck, here's what they are. They're overwhelmed. They're tired and exhausted. They are disinterested in general. People who are stuck, pay attention, are waiting for someone to rescue them. Okay. People who are stuck resist change. They resist learning. They're not open to new ideas or trying new things. People who are stuck focus on their failures. And winners focus on their strengths. Winners do not wait for someone to come rescue them, but instead, they are their own rescue. Winners are passionate. Winners are powerful. Winners are not tired and exhausted, and they have energy because they create their own energy. Winners are overcomers. Winners see obstacles and roadblocks as opportunities to learn and grow and adapt and change rather than something that completely defeats them. So I want you to think about those two types of people that I just described and ask yourself, are you a stuck people or are you a winner people? And if you're being honest, you're probably going to see some of both in yourself, right? Because I feel like at different times in our lives, we have tendencies to maybe be stuck people. And at other times in our lives, we have tendencies to be winning, right? And then sometimes they combine and they go hand in hand, or we're great in one area and have an opportunity in another. But overall, generally, stuck people are all those things. Winners are all those other things. Generally, if you're a winner, you're not waiting for someone to rescue you. You don't resist change and learning. You're not tired and exhausted all the time because you're creating energy. You're not feeling overwhelmed because you're setting good boundaries for yourself. You don't focus on your failures. Instead, you focus on your strengths. That's what winners do. Stuck people, you know what they do? They self-sabotage. They break promises to themselves, right? How many of you have made a promise to yourself and broke it? Every hand, every single hand. Okay. Now, here's what I want you to see from that. Number one, you're not alone. You're not the only person that does that. Okay. But I want you to listen closely. Don't you think it's time that you stop breaking promises to yourself? Don't you think it's time that you finally make promises to yourself and you keep them? Don't you think you deserve that? Don't you think your future you deserves that? Because guess what? Every time you make a promise to yourself and you break it, you are sabotaging your future you. You are robbing future you of joy, success, happiness, all the things you really want. Every single time you break a promise. And you might think, oh, it's no big deal. I promised myself I drink 100 ounces of water today and I'm just going to settle for 65. It's no big deal. Every single time you break a promise, every time. Every time. You might think it's inconsequential. You might think it's little. You might think it's no big deal. You might think it's grand. Every single time, whether it's little or big in your eyes, you're robbing your future self of what you really want. You're pulling yourself away from the goals that those promises support. So here's the root of the problem. Here's why we break promises to ourselves. Are you ready? And you might not want to hear this, but your dreams aren't real, or your dreams aren't big enough. It's one of the two. You might say to me, I want to build a house. I want to quit my job. I want to have a bajillion kids. I want to have no kids. I want to adopt kids, whatever, right? You might tell me these are your goals. But when your actions and your behaviors do not support your goals, those aren't really your goals, and you are lying to yourself. You are lying to yourself, because if that was really your goal, that was really, really what you wanted, on the days when it's hard and the days when you don't believe in yourself and the days when you're tired, exhausted, overwhelmed, disinterested, waiting for someone to rescue, on those days, your dream, the thing you really want, would be enough motivation for you to kick yourself in the butt and get up and go to work. It would be enough motivation for you to overcome an obstacle. It would be enough motivation for you to not care if someone told you no, or someone hurt your feelings, or someone said something you didn't like, right? If your dream was really your dream, then that would be enough. So if you're finding yourself breaking promises to yourself, or being disinterested or overwhelmed or tired or exhausted, your dreams aren't really your dreams. You know what happens? Maybe you say out loud that this is your dream, but deep down inside, you either don't believe that you deserve it, or you don't really believe that it can happen. You have an if I won the lottery mentality. Do you hear me? How many of you have a dream that's actually rooted in an if I won the lottery mentality? If I won the lottery, I'd build a dream house. If I'd won the lottery, I'd stop working. I'd send my kids to college. I'd vacation. I'd have a big savings. I'd pay for my parents to live in a nice home, you know, whatever. If I won the lottery, your dreams are rooted in this if you won the lottery crap. Guess what? You're not going to win the lottery. Guess what? No one is coming to rescue you. You are your own rescue. And I know that this is hard and this is tough, but guess what? Sometimes we have to hear hard things and sometimes we have to hear tough things, because if not, you're going to get to the end of 2020 and it's going to look just exactly the same as you started the 2020. It's going to look exactly the same as you ended 2019. And you're going to be in this cycle where every year you make a promise and you break it, and you make a promise and you break it, and you make a promise and you break it. Because if you're not willing to hear the hard things, and you're not willing to hear that you have an if I won the lottery mentality instead of I'm an overcomer, I am my rescue, I'm creating my own energy, I'm passionate and powerful, and I see obstacles as opportunities to learn and grow and change and adapt. If you're not willing to hear that, you're going to be in the same exact place at the end of the year. You're going to go into 2021 with the same questions. Why hasn't my team grown? Why isn't my business anywhere? Why am I still a team of 3? Why am I still a team of 10? Why am I still a team of 200? Why am I still a team of 1? I can't recruit anybody. My sales are not so good. Recruiting is hard. I can't earn an incentive trip. Are these the lies you're telling yourself? Do you want your life and business to look like this at the end of 2020? If your answer is truly no, if your answer is truly no, then you make a change. If your answer is no in this moment, but not deep down in here, you're going to break the promise to yourself. Here's why. You have to be deeply rooted, intrinsically knowing why you're doing this business, why you're here, why you show up. How many of you have a 9-to-5 or an outside of the home job, or you work another job outside of Scentsy? How many of you? Why do you go to work? So you see some of this. Money? Do you go to work for money? Do you go to work to pay your bills? How many of you go to work so you can pay your bills? Okay. You go to work so you can pay your bills. You need to find, why do you go to work with Scentsy? Because if it's not to pay your bills, it's going to have to be something else than money. It's going to have to be something else. I go to work because Scentsy, I go to work my business because that pays my bills. I have bills to pay and this pays my bills. That's why I go to work. Now, what I want you to understand is that you actually have won the lottery with Scentsy. But it's not as simple as scratching off a ticket and boom, you get paid. Okay? You have won the lottery, and what I mean by that is you have an unlimited earning potential that can pay you year after year after year after year, just like winning the lottery. But it's not capped. There's no cap to it. There's no amount that you'll ever stop. There's no like, okay, you have to pay whatever, right? It's not like you have won the lottery in Scentsy. You have a ticket out. If you don't want to work anymore, you have a ticket out. If you want to build your own home, you want to buy a beautiful home, you have a ticket out. You don't have to stay where you are. Now, hear me. If you want to stay where you are, that's on you. That's your call. If you don't want Scentsy to be your full-time income, it doesn't have to be. If you love your job, perfect. I'm going to support you. Then you have to find a reason why that's important and deep and rooted in your soul for you to do this, or else you're going to act like a stuck person in your business forever. You're going to continue to break promises for yourself. You guys know I don't like the have a strong why, have a why that makes you cry, bleh. I don't like that touchy-feely kind of crap. But your reason, your purpose for doing this has to be real. Has to be something you really believe in and something that you really believe you can accomplish and you really believe you deserve. Some of you are struggling because you really don't believe that you deserve success deep down. And that's maybe because of you have been in abusive relationships, or somewhere along the line someone in your past told you that you weren't worth it or you didn't deserve this, or maybe that's just your experience with your prior jobs, right? somewhere along the line, or maybe just even you struggle with looking at yourself and realizing that you deserve more than you have now. Let me tell you a story. Growing up, my parents lived paycheck to paycheck. Okay. And I mean, like, struggling, not just paycheck to paycheck, but like struggling. There were times in our life, and I remember as a child, where my parents didn't have enough money to buy food, where I'd look in the refrigerator and there would be no food, literally not a thing. And we'd come home and there would be like miraculously groceries on our doorstep, right? Just like things like this, just to keep us going. But we didn't have money for extras. We never took a family vacation. Never. Okay. They never built their dream home. We never lived in giant houses. We never had nice cars. We always had like struggle. And so as an adult, that's what I thought life was supposed to be. Struggle. Living paycheck to paycheck. Living in debt. You don't have the money for it? That's okay. Put it on a credit card. You don't have the money for it? That's okay. Take out a loan. Oh, you want to drive this car, but you don't have the money for it? No big deal. Get a loan for it. That's what I thought life was supposed to be. It's like I didn't even know that there was any other way to live because I wasn't exposed to that, right? Of course, when I was a child, like I'd see people who had really nice homes or really nice cars, and I had, as a child, and even into my young adulthood, this, oh, if I won the lottery kind of mentality, because it was something that I never thought I could work for this and change the game. I never even knew there was another way to live. Never. Then I got married. I met my husband. I found Sensi. And through all of those things, I discovered there's another option. There's another option. You don't have to live paycheck to paycheck if you don't want to. You don't have to live your life drowning in debt. You don't have to take out a loan for all the things. You don't have to put everything on a credit card. You don't have to have a debt pay down program and be eating like peanut butter sandwiches because you're paying off your debt. You don't have to live that way. And it's like, I didn't even know that that was a thing until I found Sensi and got married. When I found out that that was a thing, do you know what I decided? I decided right then and there, that is my why. That is my purpose. That other way of living that I didn't even know was a possibility or that I didn't even know was for me, that was my new passion. My new passion was not living paycheck to paycheck. My new passion was not living a life of struggle. My new passion was having savings in the bank, being able to make choices and not have to like eat here or go here or drive that because money was limiting me. That was my new passion. And you're going to hear people say like, oh, my why is my kids, or oh, my why is whatever. Your why is whatever you want it to be. I always felt bad because people would be like, my why is my kids, my why is my family. And I was like, well, that ain't my why. I don't even have kids. I just had a baby 9 months ago for the first time ever. Don't be ashamed of whatever your passion and your purpose in this business is. Don't be ashamed of it. Own it. Live into it fully. Believe that it is for you. And then go chase after it tenaciously. I mean hard. You know what that means? That means you get up before anyone else in the house does. You might go to sleep after anyone else in the house does. Yeah, you might have to get up earlier than your kids. Yeah, you might have to go to bed later than your spouse. Because maybe that's the time in your day and in your life when you can focus on your business and get work done. Do you know what else? You feed your mind with good things. You listen to podcasts. You develop yourself. You train yourself. You develop your skills. If there's an area that you're weak in or that you're struggling in, you make it your B until it becomes your strength. You hear me? You don't allow yourself to say, this is hard for me. Recruiting is hard. You don't allow yourself to say that. You make it your B and you practice and you practice and you practice and you don't give up until you are an expert at it. You don't get to say booking parties is hard for me and then tell me that you have a goal of quitting your job or building a dream home or sending your kid to whatever college. You don't get to tell me that and then tell me that that's your dream, because that's not really your dream if you're going to have that kind of mentality. You don't believe that dream is for you if you're going to have that kind of mentality. The only way that you can overcome that kind of mentality is by having a deeply rooted, passionate purpose. And when I say passionate, I want to say that with a caveat. Passionate doesn't mean like, ooh, you're hot and heavy and you're like pumped and like, ooh, like that's not passion, okay? I don't want you to chase after this passionate thing that makes you feel good and makes you jump out of bed in the morning, because guess what, guys? I don't jump out of bed in the morning every morning. I like slowly drag my butt to the coffee pot, okay? But guess what? I put in the work. It's not like, oh, I'm so happy to be alive today. It's not like every day is the sound of music. Like, that's not what passion is. And you can't go chasing this passion, because you'll just be disappointed that you haven't found it. So don't have this idea that that's what your life or business should look like. Don't underestimate the amount of hard work that it takes to succeed. Don't underestimate the times that I work even if I don't feel like it. But you know why I work even if I don't feel like it? Because my passionate purpose is to not live that way in life. My passionate purpose is to not struggle, not live paycheck to paycheck, have savings, allow Riley to go to whatever college she wants to, and not set her up with a life of debt. Okay? These are my passionate purposes. My passionate purpose is to give generously, live in a home that I love, and I love bringing people to, right? I love to entertain. I love to have people over. That's part of my passionate purpose. You know what else is part of my passionate purpose? Empowering women to do the dang thing. Empowering women to do the dang thing. We live in a time in the world where women in America have more opportunity than they've ever had in the history of America. Do you hear me? If you were born at any other time, you wouldn't have an ounce of the opportunity you have now. Women in America have more opportunity now than they have ever had at any other time in history. So if you don't take that and be grateful for it and run with it and go do something great, like I don't even know what. Women, just like us, have overcome a lot more obstacles than you have encountered. I promise you, all throughout history, women have encountered major, major obstacles, bigger things than any of us will ever see in our life. And they've been overcomers. They've been successful. They've done incredible, life-changing, world-changing, eye-opening things that have paved the way, literally paved the way for you and me. That's part of my passionate purpose. What is your passionate purpose? Stop breaking promises to yourself. Stop self-sabotaging yourself. Stop hitting the snooze button. Life is too short for that. Every day you hit the snooze button, you break a promise to yourself and you rob your future self of everything you really want. My husband always says this. He says, never trade what you want most for what you want at the moment. What you want at the moment is to hit the snooze button. What you want most is, I don't know, that's not my job to tell you what you want most. It's what you want most, because every single one of you on this call, every single one of you, what you want most is different. And it's beautiful and wonderful, and I celebrate it and I encourage it. Whatever you want. You don't have to look like me. Your goals don't have to be like mine. None of us are the same. But don't trade what you want most for what you want at the moment. What you want moment might be to binge watch you on Netflix. Okay? That's me. I want to binge watch you on Netflix. Guys, I don't have time to watch TV. You know why? Because if I watch TV, I'm robbing my future self of everything I really want. Okay? That's the reality. So I could trade what I want most for what I want at the moment, and I could go sit my lazy ass out on the couch and watch you for several hours and wake up tired and go to bed too late. And then I've not only sabotaged myself in my working tonight, but I've also sabotaged myself tomorrow because I'm off my game, right? So now I've lost 2 days. And then on day 3, I'm going to be like, well, screw it. I've already lost 2 days. I might as well just finish out this week being lazy. And then at the end of the week, I'm going to be like, well, it's almost the end of the month. So I might as well just forget it. I'm done. Like, I'm just going to end here. I'm in the top 150 of the company, and my spot is pretty secure. Like, I don't think the 150th number can come up to where my spot is. So I could just sit back and be like, like, my spot ain't going anywhere. I'm just going to go to Amsterdam. I'm just going to take the rest of the month off. But what am I doing by doing that? Robbing my future self of everything I really want. I could sit here in this comfort zone and sit here in this chair and sit here on my couch, and I could not show up for coaching calls. I could not book any more parties. I could not do follow-up for my event this weekend. I could cancel my event in 2 weeks because it didn't cost me that much. I could be like, no big deal. I don't feel like it. I don't have enough inventory. My life is hard. All my inventory is packed in pods right now. I'm living in the back bedroom of my parents' house. I have a baby. I don't feel good. Blah, 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 blah. There's always going to be reasons for you to not work. There's always going to be reasons for you to not show up for yourself. There's always going to be reasons for you to break promises to yourself. But there has to be one giant, deep, passionate, purposeful reason that you don't. And only you can decide what that is. Only you can decide what that is. I want to show you something. You guys can kind of see this here. I want to show you something here. This is you. Can you still hear me okay? This is you. Here's your dream on the other side of the obstacle, okay? When you have a dream that looks like this and you encounter obstacles, when obstacles come your way and your dream is on the other side, you're going to try and try and try, and you're going to keep hitting that obstacle, and you're just going to go, and you're going to give up on your dream, and you're going to give up on your future self. Now let me show you this second one. Look at this one. When your dream is big enough and powerful enough and strong enough, you can overcome any obstacle to get to your dream. If your dream is this, it is too freaking small. If your dream is so much that any obstacle derails you or makes you quit or makes you fall flat on your face, then your dream is too small. When your dream is big and powerful and passionate and huge, when you encounter an obstacle, your dream is on the other side of that, and it is no big deal because your dream is rising above whatever obstacle, whatever hard time is thrown your way. Do you see this? Is your dream too small? If you've given up on yourself before, if you've broken promises to yourself before, if you've self-sabotaged, it means your dream is too small. Your dream is too small. So here's what I want to say to you. Isn't it time that you really start to flourish? Isn't it time that you really start to succeed? Isn't it time that you finally go and chase after the things that you really, really want? Isn't it time? Isn't it time to stop struggling? Isn't it time to stop self-sabotaging? Isn't it time to stop living paycheck to paycheck? Isn't it time to stop missing all the moments with your kids? Isn't it time? Isn't it time to go get what you really want? To go get that dream that maybe someone told you you didn't deserve, but you really deserve and you really want it, but you've been afraid to say it out loud because it's big and it's scary, or maybe someone else thinks it's crazy. Screw them. You know, people thought I was crazy when I was like, I'm going to sell candles for a living. You know how crazy people think we are that we retired my husband and he left corporate America? You know how crazy people think we are? You know how people are like, but what about retirement? But what about health insurance? But what about, I'm like, yeah, check. Yeah, check. Yeah, check. Okay. I don't care if people think we're crazy because my dream is not this big, it's this big. So you've got to ask, what is your dream? You've got to verbalize and say it out loud, even if it terrifies you. And you know what? I bet you, if your dream doesn't terrify you when you say it, you've probably got this size dream. You've got that little dream that when an obstacle comes, it's gonna, and you're gonna tank out. If your dream terrifies you when you say it and you're afraid to say it out loud, this is your dream. So that when obstacles come, you can go right over those things. You can use them to learn and change and grow and adapt and become better. This is what I want for you. This is what you want for you. This is what it's time that you go get. It's time for you to do something big and scary. It's time for you to stop living your life like everyone else. You know, most of the world, 99% of the world, they look like this. They quit, they give up, their dreams are too small, they break promises to themselves. Like, are you the 99%? You're way more special than that. Don't be like everybody else. There's enough of them. There's enough of them. Go be like you. Have a big, huge, scary dream and take your business to the next level. Take your business to the next level. I want to leave you with this. You can only make so much money in Scentsy by selling the products. You can only make so much money. Okay? The way to big income, the way to more money, the way to so much money that you can't even begin to fathom is by recruiting, team building, coaching, and mentoring people. You can only make so much money selling the products. Do you have to sell products? Absolutely. Absolutely you do. That's where it all starts. Most people join Scentsy because they like buying the products. They like using the products. They like hosting parties and getting stuff for free. So yes, you have to sell the products. And I believe that high sales give you everything that you really want in this business, okay? They lead to recruits and coaching and mentoring and getting promoted and earning trips and all of that. But you can only make so much money by selling the products. You have to build a team. You have to recruit. You have to coach and mentor them onto success. I promise you, that is unlimited earning potential. Unlimited earning potential. More money than you ever dreamed possible. And it's not necessarily about money. It doesn't have to be about dollars. It doesn't have to be about Louis Vuittons and Range Rovers. Unless that's what you want, then girl, go get you a Louis and a Range Rover. Get it, girl. Okay? Do your thing. Whatever that money brings you, go for it. The money for me brings freedom and choice and vacations and security. That's what it is for me. The only way to do that is through recruiting and team building. So if you're not recruiting your butts off, sharing the opportunity with everyone you see, going like crazy and trying to get every single person you ever meet to join your team, especially this month because we have a joint special, like, then your dream's not big enough. Because if your dream was big enough, you'd be shouting it from the rooftops, you'd be signing everybody up. And you'd be on it like stink on poo. Is that how people say it? Flies on poo? I don't even know. I'm not that cool. Like if that's as good as I got with the sayings, I better get more cool before my daughter gets older because they're gonna be like, Mom, my mom is old. That's what she's gonna go to school and be like, my mom is old. I am. It's true. Listen, I love you guys so much. We have unlimited potential, really. This is just the beginning. Make this the year that you finally chase after your dreams and you quit breaking your promises, okay? Make this the year that you finally do something and you stop sitting by and waiting for someone to rescue you. Make this the year that you stop waiting to win the lottery and you go create your own lottery. You go create your own income. Okay? Because you have that opportunity with your business. See you next week. Bye.